Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! Seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead! Behind the screen, Harper got a piece of it, it comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Tying run at second, 2 out, Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it, and to the middle of the 15, to the 20, breaks free of the 25, to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5.
For the 3rd time in 6 seasons, it's one goal team. The Chicago Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
There we go. What up, what up, what up? Welcome to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on. If you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. Simple. But wait, there's more. Oh, shoot. Go to our YouTube channel. And if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, guys. Go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell next to it, and that'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, you can also tweet the show. Tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me online. Want to know what I did? Let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. Listen, I got a great show, but I need you to get interactive. So whatever platform you're watching us on, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up here in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around, and that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody scared over here. And like The Rock said, baby, don't sing it, just bring it. Let's check the chat, because the chat is jumping already. My man Cornelius Squall in the house. What up, what up, what up, Shawn and Sports Zoners? We're taking the NFC North crown and never giving it back. That's the plan, baby. That is the plan. My man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. is in the house. Shawn, this game is huge. I couldn't agree more. Mr. Southside himself. Michelle says, what up? On Christmas Eve, bear down FGB. What? FGB. I couldn't agree with you more. Always FGB. My man Face. Pat from the Smoke Fellas. He's checking in. He's checking in right here. What's up, Papa Face here? Thank you for tuning in, my man. My man, I appreciate you. Black Diamond, top of the morning, gang. Sounds like Ben is going for the number 1 seed. Can you believe the Bulls won again? I know. What the hell's that all about? The hell's up 4 in a row? Ooh, Charlie. Junior, Merry Christmas to you and the family as well. Oh. It's crazy. That is crazy. See. Oh, one thing I didn't tell Steve-O. Wow, Chris. Thanks. Yeah. Sorry about that. Let's see. Let's check this out, Junior. Merry Christmas. And you know what? This is awesome. Sean Walls. The Cornelius. Merry Christmas. Bear down. Junior's Merry Christmas, Shawn. Merry Christmas, Black Diamond. Black Diamond echoes the sentiment. Back to you. Cornelius. What's up, Petty King? That's Black Diamond. Cornelius, Black Diamond. You know what? Let's go. Merry Christmas to you and yours. And Shawn, yo, face. Your Junior face. Black Diamond, Merry Christmas. Bear down. Listen. First and foremost, I do want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. You know, it's interesting. It's just that, you know, I want to say thank you. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas because you guys have shown me crazy love and support over all these years. And believe you me, I appreciate it. AC Adam checking in. What's up, baby? He said, bear down. Merry Christmas with the Christmas tree. You know, what I talked about yesterday was important, or Monday was important. All right, family. Family is so important. And I saw one of my friends. They actually live out here in Orland. They grew up in the old neighborhood. Went to my grammar school. A set of twins. Went to my grammar school, St. Rita Grammar School. They ended up going to our sister school, St. Rita's sister school, Maria. Oh no, they went to Bogan. Sorry, they went to Bogan, but they went to my grammar school, St. Rita Grammar School, and they're making the tamales. And as I was telling you, that's what Christmas is about: is family, being with family, and the traditions, all right, of getting together. And if you still talk to some of your family members, like I do, some, not all, it's important. And I want you, let's not forget that. I know we're in the middle of a very surprising and exciting bear season. Okay, well let's remember what life's really about. And I know we all love sports and we all passionate about football. All right, but let's remember what life's really about, and that's family and loved ones, family, friends, and loved ones. And the more chance we get to make memories with them, let's do it. Let's do it. Black Diamond said I ordered a Bears Victory Monday shirt. Awesome, bro. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it greatly. Greatly. I appreciate the support. I am really looking forward to Sunday. Sunday's going to be we're an island game again. Only game on the docket, Sunday night, 7:20. I'm excited. I really, really am. It is it's a statement game. All right, because here's the reality of that game, of that situation. If the Bears went out and Seattle loses one game in the last two, the Bears are the number one seed in the NFC. Okay. If Seattle wins out, they're the number one seed in the NFC. If the 49ers win out, they're the number one seed in the NFC. So you see the storylines, and to make things, to top it off, put the cherry on top, the 49ers play Seattle the last game of the year. So that game could be for the number one overall seed. if San Francisco beats us, Seattle wins this week, and that game will be for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully the Bears are able to come out, handle San Francisco, who looked really, really good the other night. Really, really good. All right, Brock Purdy he's locked in right now, and that's a scary thought. He's locked in, and that's a scary thought. 5 touchdown passes, and we really haven't had a pass rush for the whole season, truth be told. So it's going to be an interesting game. Can the Bears remain opportunistic and take the ball away? Can the Bears score? All right, can they score? That's what we got to find out. That's what we're going to find out. And, I'm looking at it, and, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Remember, they got blown out last year. I was out there. I went to that game last year, and they got blown out. My buddy was embarrassed. He went to the game. He drove me. Him and his buddy had bought 2 tickets, went to the game. Well, I was in the, it took me to and I was in the press box. And it was funny. I was able to see where he was. He was sitting across from me on the stadium, on the other side of the stadium when they first got there. And they were the only 2, I could tell by the color of the T-shirts and jerseys. He was wearing, my guy was wearing a white Bears jersey. And, but he's like, I was so embarrassed because, we got blown out. If the Bears lose, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't think so. And the one thing that I'm looking forward to is Ben redeeming himself. Like we got off to a slow start again. All right. And I don't like it. I get it. I understand it, but I don't like it. All right. I understand, Ben, you're a first-year head coach. That silly play in the first drive on a 4th and 1 wasn't necessary. And I know that's kind of who you are. You like to have trick plays. But at some point, which we talked about with Caleb, take the gimme. Take the layup. All right, how many times have we said hit the check down, Caleb? How many times have we said hit DJ across the middle? All right, and a crosser, Caleb. Hit the easy ones. Hit the easy ones. Remember we say that? We've said that plenty of times this year. Ben Johnson, you got to take the easy ones too. All right, you have to take the check downs. You got to take the gimmies as well. Yeah, I think Ben Johnson got overwhelmed by the emotion of Saturday night. Only game on the docket. The NFC North crown in the balance. And it was against the Green Bay Packers. I think all that was a combination of why Ben was making some emotional decisions. I mean, Ben's usually a pretty calculated guy. Okay, but he's human. All right, he's human. And I think he was just got caught up in that emotion. Cornelius, I agree with you. He says, I don't think Ben will make that mistake again. I agree with you. This is just like Caleb. Remember when Caleb threw the interception to Green Bay? And what did he do the next week? He threw it away from the DB, let DJ run under the ball and get it when he's going across the back of the end zone. You learn the hard way. Sometimes in life, and most people in this chat are men. How many times have we had to learn shit the hard way? Because we're too stubborn and hard-headed. And I think that was quite a learning experience for Ben. I hear you, bro. King Booker World checking in and say players mess up sometimes. I hear you. They do. We do. It happens, and you learn. So I think that a situation like that with Ben is not going to happen again. So now we have to say, now how can we stop this San Francisco offense? How can we stop the San Francisco offense? And San Francisco's got to say, how can we stop the Chicago offense? How can we stop the Chicago run game? one of the things that I really, really, really like is that it seems this divide between Caleb Williams and DJ Moore might be over. It might be over. We'll never truly know if it's over until Rome Odunze comes back and they're both on the field at the same time. But it seems like they had a very strong relationship this past game. And I don't want that to stop just because Rome comes back. It's because Luther Burden comes back. And I'm not sure if they're coming back yet or not, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. And I think you can't go wrong. You won't go wrong if you go to your number one. All right? And you can sit there and tell me and show me all the numbers you want and all the targets you want, that Rome has more targets than DJ. I don't care. DJ's proven. DJ's clutch. And in my mind, he is their best receiver. And again, that's no disrespect at all to Rome Odunze. Rome's going to get to that point where he's going to be a stud receiver and one of the better receivers in the NFL. He's just not there yet. And that's okay. Part of it was because of the shit show that they had to deal with last year. So his development was stunted as well. But that should form organically. They got to let it do it. They have to let it form organically. Don't force something, Caleb. Here's a crazy idea. You have a number one receiver, use them, hit your secondary receivers. When they start shading or they double or triple cover DJ and other people are wide open, hit those guys. Don't stray away from DJ because your boy is back. Keep going to him. And when there's a complete mismatch and they take advantage of it with Rome Odunze being open or Luther Burden being open, then you go there. If he continues to target DJ, this offense is going to be almost unstoppable. Almost unstoppable. Because the run game that we have is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And that's what I need Ben to understand. Don't get away from that run game. Continue to stick to it. Continue to force it down their throat. Continue to deliver body blows throughout the first half of the game. And that's what's frustrating me to this point. Ben strays away from the body blows in the first half. Don't do that. Don't do that. You saw the touchdown to DJ came because you're giving body blows all game. You got Caleb under center. Turned around, play action. Linebackers came up, safety came up. And DJ ran behind the other safety because of the run. That's why you deliver body blows earlier. Like Diamond said, Shawn, we could have used you as a guest on the Path to Designer show, The Morning Breeze, yesterday, because somebody was saying DJ's not a number one. The offense success is all due to Caleb. Yeah, I would have nipped that in the bud. I would have nipped that in the bud. Again, just because you're a platform doesn't mean you're giving an informed opinion, and you're allowed to have your own opinion. Everyone's allowed to have one. That's great, but it doesn't mean it's an informed opinion. And that is a very poor opinion, very uninformed opinion. Offensive success is not all due to Caleb. It's not. He's a part of it. Caleb used the term, you do 1/11th. I don't know if you can do math real quick, but that's 9%. If you multiply 9 times 11, that's 99%. Caleb do 10%. Okay? And there are points in time when Caleb does more in the end, and at the end of games, sure. But oftentimes, in the bulk of the game, keeping teams close, that's not on Caleb. The majority of the time. Oh, he's hit some key throws, don't get me wrong, but that run game has been huge. The offensive line has been great. The offensive line has been really, really stellar. And when you have that run game that you're able to rely on, and you have two running backs that you're able to rely on, we're going to end up with a guy with 1,000 yards in DeAndre Swift. We're going to end up with another running back with maybe 800 yards. Let me see. Let's see where it's at. Where's that? I deleted it already. Son of a biscuit. Oh, thanks, Steve-O, for those. I'm sure you put them in the drive, too. I like this one. I want to wish this one to everybody. Merry Christmas from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago. Thank you. But listen, here's what we're going to do. All right, on the other side of the break, we're going to get to our top of the morning topics. We have a lot of stuff to do. Got a lot of stuff to deal with. We got Bulls, we got Hawks, and of course, we got more Bears talk. All right, so don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Operator 901, where's the emergency?
127 Brynmere.
Okay, what's going on there?
I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Ma'am, you've reached 911. This is an emergency line.
Large with half pepperoni, half mushrooms.
You know you've called 911. This is an emergency
Do you
line.
know how long it'll be?
Okay, ma'am, is everything okay over there? Do you have an emergency or not?
Yes.
And you're unable to talk because...
Right.
Okay, is there someone in the room with you? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, it looks like I have an officer about a mile from your location. Are there any weapons in your house?
No.
Can you stay on the phone with me?
No. See you soon. Thank you.
Every day, we take steps to keep the people we love safe, but some health risks are easy to miss. Ticks hiding in the yard can spread germs, like the ones that cause Lyme disease. Mice searching for food can spread bacteria that makes us sick. Mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water and can spread West Nile virus and more. Cockroaches are drawn to water in the home, leaving behind allergens that can trigger asthma attacks. Common pests can threaten our health. Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
No, I don't know though. I'm scared. I mean, you're so...
Do you know that you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
over 75% as a team inside the paint.
And they have to understand where their success has been these 2 games since they've been losing. Plays just like that.
Yeah, that's more like it.
It's a pass and cut. Get the ball inside. Good job by Boots, and they're losing and winning. Oh, nice move. Don't hurt him, Kev.
Well, the guy that is back where it all started, his first 4 years in Atlanta, Kevin Huerter with an and one.
Upset right there. A little miscommunication whether they should switch it or not.
A 9-0 run that the Bulls are trying to stop. But the Hawks are on here. Trey Jones does off the glass.
Krejci, too small. Star. He got paid this summer like he was one. You got Johnson this year who's established himself. There's so many young guys they have on this team. You got to remember, they still have Porzingis. Nice move. Nice little 2-man game.
Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those tips courtesy of Chicago Sports Network. Those were the Bullies yesterday in the ATL. Laying a smack down on the candy asses of the Hawks with a big win, their 4th in a row. What the hell is going on? What's going on over there? I don't know, but let's get crack-a-lackin', baby. You know how we do the first segment of every show was called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it.
Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
Top of the morning. Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Which way do we go? Well, we started with them coming out of break. So let's go with it. Let's go with them right there. The Bullies, baby. Our Bulls. Only the Bulls. Only the Bulls. Yesterday, the Bulls were down in the ATL. All right. They down the Atlanta Hawks 126-123. Kobe White led the way for the Bulls, 24 points. Nikola, Mr. Double-Double himself, 21 points, 10 rebounds. Let me tell you something. Josh Giddey doing Josh Giddey things. Another triple-double. 19 points, 11 rebounds, 15 assists. 15 helpers. And the great part about it, and they were talking about it yesterday, is, I mean, you look at his rebounds. Got 11 rebounds. He had 7 on the defensive end. So you're stopping the other team. You're giving them one and done. I know offensive rebounds are important, but so are defensive rebounds. To not give your opponent 2 and 3 chances on a possession, it's huge. Josh Giddey doing Josh Giddey things. Big win for the Bulls, 4th in a row. Man, they were down big time early and came back. And I went to go visit my buddy yesterday at Burger Poppy. Talked to him about some business, and the game was on. So I just stayed. I had my food and I stayed until it was over. And yeah, it was great. Good to see. They just look comfortable. 4th in a row, as I said, and starting to get it. I'm not gonna go pay money to go see him just yet. Not just yet, but maybe at the end of January, early February, if they continue these winning ways, you might have another person coming to see you. We're staying with the Bulls. Next top of the morning, top of the Bulls host the 76ers at the United Center on Friday. All right, they're going to be off for the Christmas holiday as well. They're playing on Friday. Tip-off is at 6:30 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Prime Video. So it's going to be on Prime. See, all these streaming services are picking up on all these sports. I don't know. And you can catch them on their flagship station, 670 a.m. Next top of the morning topic. This was a tough one yesterday. The Blackhawks. Oof. Man, that was a rough Blackhawks fall to the Broad Street Bullies, Philadelphia Flyers. Speaking of Philly, my man Jay Grizz is in the house. He knows about the Philadelphia the Broad Street Bullies, living out in Philly. They fall 3-1. Spencer Knight stopped 23 of 25 shots. Ryan Donato lit the lamp. The only time for the Hawks, his 9th lamp lighter of the year. Uzelchek, his 7th assist, and Lezhonov, his 15th helper on the campaign. His name with the Hawks. The Hawks play at Dallas on Saturday, so they're off. They got a nice little Christmas break. Play at Dallas on Saturday. Puck drop is at 7 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on ESPN Plus or listen to it on their flagship station, 7:20 a.m. The next top of the morning topic, man, we know what's up. Oh, wrong one. This one. The Bears, baby, fired up. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. Couldn't see it, Steve. Bears, Sunday night, baby. The Bears travel to the Bay. Take on for a date with the 49ers Sunday night football. Only game on the docket. It's an island game. No other games at that time. Kickoff is at 7:20 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on NBC, Channel 5 locally. Or you can listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 a.m. Huge game. We were talking about it in the first segment of the show. We're going to continue talking about it because at 10 o'clock, my man Kole Noble from A to Z Sports is going to join us. We're going to continue this conversation with him. Good news from Hallis Hall. 3 Bears were named to the Pro Bowl. Drew Dahlman will be playing in his first Pro Bowl of his career. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So happy for that young man. Kevin Byard, his 3rd Pro Bowl. And Joe Tooney, the KG vet, playing in his 4th Pro Bowl. You know, one of the things, there's certain things that really piss me off. This is one of them. Because you have to understand, and you got to understand, like there's, people get upset about these things because people claim that they are popularity contests, which a lot of times they are. But, you know, we're very protective of our people. And let me just show you this. And you make that decision for yourself. One of the guys who made the Pro Bowl, one of the cornerbacks who made the Pro Bowl is Quinyon Mitchell from Philadelphia. Quinyon Mitchell, I believe he made the Pro Bowl last year. I'm not positive. Let me double check. But he made it, and our Nashawn Wright did not. Let's look at these statistics. The Bears beat the Eagles. They both played in 15 games. Nashawn Wright has 5 interceptions, 2nd in the NFL, behind Kevin Byard. 118 yards in returns on those interceptions. He has 1 interception for a fumble. Quinyon Mitchell doesn't have any interceptions. Quinyon Mitchell obviously doesn't have any interception yards or any pick sixes. Neither of them have any sacks. Tackles. 43 tackles by Nashawn Wright, 32 tackles by Quinyon Mitchell. Forced fumbles, 2. Nashawn Wright ended the tush push against Quinyon Mitchell's team. And then fumble recoveries. So I'm not just one to go on the stats. And obviously I've watched all the Bear games and I know what a force Nashawn Wright has been. When you've been a force, and there are a lot of people in and around the area who said the NFL landscape, let me put it that way, who said Nashawn Wright was robbed, snubbed, and he was. to fill in for a All-Pro, Jalen Johnson was, and to lead the NFL interceptions for a long time. He's at the top of the leaderboard. Remember, him and Kevin Byard were tied with 5 until Kevin got one a couple of weeks ago. And not just that, the interception, the way he had a pick 6 early in the year against DK Metcalf and the Pittsburgh Steelers. He one-handed it right in front of him. Then, what was the last game where he dove 2 hands in the end zone? These picks are timely. That one saved a touchdown. I forgot who that one was against. And I'm not saying Quinyon Mitchell isn't having a good year. Nahshon Wright is having a better one. And a lot of times, as you well know, it is a popularity contest. And once you get in that loop, so to speak, it's tough to get out. A lot of times people go on reputation alone. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. My man, Nino Brown, Jay Grizz, Merry Christmas to the SuperBack and all my sports owners. Thank you, sir. Blue Goose, 2035. What's up, Papa? How are you? Thank you for tuning in. 16-6. If the Bears lost, you're taking San Francisco. You know, I'm a big San Francisco fan. San Francisco is my second favorite team in the NFL of all time. I go back to the Montana, Jerry Rice, Dwight Clark. I remember it was one of the first games I remember vividly was the catch. I remember watching the catch. So, yeah. Yeah. So, Blue Goose, thanks for tuning in, my man. I appreciate it. Timothy Strickland, I8B. Good morning, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. You guys are newcomers to the show. I appreciate the support, guys. I really do. Hopefully we entertain you, give you some information. You walk in. Hope you guys are really thoroughly enjoyed. Cornelius, I agree with you. Congrats to Joe Tunney, Drew Dahlman, Darnell Wright, and Nahshon were robbed. Yeah. Don't forget Kevin Byard. Congratulations to him as well. 18 is pure magic. The kid is special, Timothy. I can't deny that. Jay Grizz goes, yeah, I'm going to use the Green Bay Packer excuse. Blackhawks are injured and without their superstar. Hey, it worked for the Packers. Why not? Why can't we use it? Cornelius Wallace says, 49ers? No way. They broke my heart too many times back then. Well, let me tell you one of the reasons why I like them. So we moved to 61st and Fairfield. All right, I was born in Pilsen, 18th place in Morgan. It's a 3-flat. We lived on the top floor on the southeast corner of 18th place in Morgan, right by half a block away from Simone's. People who've been out in the city know where I'm talking about, Simone's. It's a half block away from there. And we moved to 61st and Fairfield. All right, and it was a predominantly white neighborhood. There were a couple other Mexicans in the neighborhood, but they were very few and far between. So I went to school with predominantly white kids. A couple Mexican kids, and I was a new kid. So they, but anyway, I grew up, so I listened to all types of music. I listened to, R&B, I listened to Motown, I listened to Spanish music with my grandma and my aunt and uncle. And I listened to predominantly white music, like pop and rock. And one of my favorite groups was Huey Lewis and the News. Got you, Steve-O. So one of my favorite groups was Huey Lewis and the News. Well, Huey Lewis and the News are from the Bay Area. And I liked them. And then they're in the video, a couple videos, some of the players, in addition to the catch. And then when Roger Craig came, I was a huge fan of Roger Craig. Don't get me wrong. Walter's my favorite football player of all time. But Roger Craig was the guy that I also enjoyed. I was a running back. And I loved the running backs of that era. Tony Dorsett was a little older, but the Roger Craigs, Marshall Faulks came along later. No, that was actually later when I was in college. The Wilbur Montgomerys from Philadelphia, speaking of Philly, and Jay Grizz. Joe Cribbs from the Buffalo Bills. Earl Campbell. This is Huey Lewis in the news. This is it. By Huey Lewis in the news. So that's why I love the 49ers. I was a big fan. So, yeah, sorry, Cornelius. Sorry, Papa. Brandon Schutz in the house. What's up, Papa? It's a happy Christmas Eve. How are you? I'm doing well, my man. I'm doing well. Junior said, I hated the 80s 49ers, but now I know I saw an elite team and appreciate that. I was able to watch them. Yeah. Yeah. Brandon, you ready for baseball season? Man, no, not yet. Please let me know. Jay Grizz, you know what's up? Little Huey Lewis in the news. Man. And remember, that was a time when MTV just took off. When they actually played videos on MTV. And one of what was the name of the song? He goes, would you like to go on my yacht? And the girl's like, oh, yeah. And he's got a little rowboat. The name of the rowboat is My Yacht, M-Y-O-T-T, My Yacht. Videos were it. Sorry, that's why I love the Niners. I've always been a Niner fan. Yeah, I used to love that video. They're buried in the sand. That's right. Oh, man, that's awesome. That's crazy. Oh, goodness gracious. But so that's why I like the Niners. You know, they've always had good infrastructure. Remember when Ed DeBartolo Jr. was the owner? Eddie DeBartolo Jr. was the owner of the Niners. And, man, they were one of the first teams. So Ed DeBartolo Jr., Ed DeBartolo Sr., his dad, was a real estate developer. So Ed DeBartolo Jr., followed in his dad's footsteps, and they own a lot of land, a lot of strip malls. Back in the 80s, strip malls and malls were huge, remember? Which I got to go to the mall later for Christmas present, but that's another story. And so he went and bought the Niners. So what he did, his philosophy was treat them. Treat the athletes like royalty. Give them everything they need. So they were the first ones with chartered flights, 5-star accommodations. Because remember, I don't know if you knew this, they used to fly commercial. They used to fly commercial NFL teams. Yeah, crazy. You can't fathom that now, but that's how it was back in the day. Ed DeBartolo Jr. used to started with charter planes, only for the team, the whole nine. They stayed at, like I said, 5-star hotels, great meals the whole night before, the whole nine. And I loved it. I loved it. Jay Grizz said, if you live at 61st, why did you choose St. Rita over Mount Carmel? Is Mount Carmel closer to where you lived at 61st? No. Mount Carmel was way east. You know where it's at, obviously, but you're right by the lake. I was on 61st in California. Fairfield is a block off of California. St. Rita was at Western. That's a half a mile away. So I used to walk to school every day. And that was St. Rita Grammar School was a feeder school to St. Rita High School. So, yeah. Yeah, I was literally, Jay Grizz, a half a mile away. From California to Western is a half a mile. So I would walk every day. I used to walk in the snow uphill both ways. Even in the summer, it was in the snow both ways uphill. Oh, man. Oh, man. But listen, I'm excited, man. So that's why I love the Niners. They're a second favorite team. Never, ever will I root for them when they're playing the Bears, but I'll root for them every other time. Okay, so let's not get it twisted. As much as I love Roger Craig, and I patterned a lot of my game after him, because Roger Craig was the first 1,000 running back in the history of the NFL, and it's a shame he's not in the Hall of Fame. When you change the game, that should automatically put you in consideration for the Hall of Fame. Not to mention he's a three-time Super Bowl winner. Come on, man. And then Marshall Faulk did it. And everyone thinks Marshall Faulk was the first 1,000 guy. It wasn't. Roger Craig. And I patterned my game after his because he was able to do everything. He was great out of the backfield, as obviously gaining 1,000 yards. He did that as a fullback. He wasn't even a tailback then. He was a fullback and gained 1,000 rushing and 1,000 receiving. But anyway, I digress. This is a big, big moment for us as Bear fans. All right, because we get to in a big moment for this organization. Okay, now the games are big. Platforms are bigger every week. And if you win this week, the game gets bigger next week because then it's for the NFC. You know what I mean? It could be for the NFC North, depending if the Packers win. But this is what we prayed for, isn't it? You know, there's an old saying in life, be thankful for the heartaches, the struggles you have now, because this is what you prayed for years ago or weeks ago or months ago. Remember that? Remember that? We prayed for things in life, man. I wish I had these problems. I wish I had to do this. I wish I was here. Well, Bears fans, this is the stuff we prayed for. We prayed for moments like this, where we're island games, where they put us in prime time, and these games mean something. This is what we prayed for. For how many God-blessed years did we pray for this? And now we got it. So enjoy it. Enjoy it. Because now, how many teams would wish they could have the season we're having? How many teams? Over half the NFL, tell you that. So we're in a good spot, and I hope they understand, and I think they do, the magnitude of this game and then what follows. Not that we're looking forward to Detroit. That's later because we got a little something for them. But this is a big game. We got embarrassed last year in San Francisco. We're going back to San Francisco. How the hell we went to San Francisco and Washington 2 years in a row when they're not in our division, I have no idea. But, hey, I digress. And it's a chance to stop a good team who's fighting just like us for the number 1 overall seed. They're fighting just like us for the number 1 overall seed. Meaningful football. We haven't had meaningful football in 2018. Well, we made the playoffs in 2020, so maybe 2020, 5 years, 7 years. We haven't had consistent, meaningful football in December since back to Lovey. Right around the turn of the century. 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Crooked Commish checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you? He says, yo, what's good, Shawn? Bear down. Facts. Enjoy these ugly wins. LOL. Hopefully we can clean up the penalties. Yeah, we need to. Damn, we definitely need to. But here's the chance. Brock Purdy. We just saw he threw 5 touchdown passes. That offense looked like they're rolling. They're firing on all cylinders. Maybe this is the game that Caleb is a lot more efficient. Maybe. I thought it would have been last game, but they were too hyped. They were too amped up. But we've all been there. We've all played on teams that have been too charged up, too fired up for a game. Remember, this has methodical. Your emotions got to come out of it. You've got to attack methodically, not emotionally. Cornelius says, Ben Johnson and Kyle Shanahan going head-to-head. Can't wait. It's going to be good. So, Ben, Ben learned a big lesson last week. Attack methodically, not emotionally. So we're going to find out. And when the Bears win again, move on to Detroit. Oh, we got a little something for Detroit. We owe them something. This ain't the same team from week 2. This definitely isn't the same team from week 2. I'll tell you that right now. Tell you that right now. Not the same team from week 2. So let's go into that game. It's going on Sunday night. It's got to be methodical. You've got to take that emotion out of it. Now, you want to be emotional to play, but you can't make emotional decisions. Like opening kickoff. DeMarco Jackson jumping on the scrum. Personal foul. Come on. Was that necessary? No. Emotions. You got to keep them in check. Players, coaches can't make decisions emotionally. Not when you're playing against a tactician like Mike Shanahan. Can't do it. Joseph Archer checking in. What's up, Papa? How are you, man? Thank you for tuning in. So the time is now. I'm hungry, just like our players. All the fans raise up. This is our time. Let's Mickey Ficky go Bears. Bear down. I'm with you, bro. I am with you. I am not averse to saying we can go to the Super Bowl. That is on our radar. That is on our bingo card now. That wasn't on our bingo card in the beginning of the year. We got a bye. We got a new bingo card. Guess what? That's on our bingo card now. We can get to that point. Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. I don't know if it's T. Nick or if it's Foul Mouth Chris. Man, thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate it. He's like, what up, bro? Question, if we get the number 2 seed, would you rather face Green Bay or Detroit with the number 7 seed? Great show. Bear down. And he writes, oh, yeah, NFGB. NFGB. You're damn right. That's a good question. I got to see how Detroit's playing. I got to see how we beat Detroit in the last week. I would like to say Green Bay, but we'll see. Listen, we got to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, my man Kole Noble is going to join us from A to Z Sports, continuing all things Bears. Got some questions for him. We're going to find out his response. So keep it locked right here. Don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked here. ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our road.
He is hit, surges forward, but he's not going to get there. T.J. Edwards snuffed it out. And on the fake, Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all. It is caught. Bears win it. D.J. Moore. D.J. Moore on the full field post. Off play action. Nixon, an absolutely 10 out of 10 A-plus throw for Caleb Williams. He knew it when he let it go. That ball's in the air a long time. He's thinking, go get it, DJ. Go track it down, big guy. The throw of Caleb Williams' life. The catch of DJ Moore's life. What a scene.
Oh, shit. Sorry. A tear drops my eye. That was beautiful. Welcome back to ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of Fox. Over the boys. Saturday night. And boy, it got lit after that, didn't it, Black Diamond? Black Diamond hung out with me on Saturday night at the Sports Zone Chicago Bears viewing / holiday party. And man, that play, I honestly don't know how the hell the roof stayed on that place. I have no idea how the roof stayed on that place. It was insane. Woo! My man Jay Grizz says, gives me goosebumps every time. FGB. Damn right, baby. Damn right.
Go Green Bay! Go Green Bay! Go Green Bay!
No, Steve-O. Black Diamond is right. It was pandemonium. Pandemonium in Chicago. And what's awesome, you know, you go back on social media and they have the close-up on Caleb as he's throwing it, and he puts his hands in his pocket as he's backing up a little bit, and you just watch it. It's in slow motion, and then all you do is see the fans in the background. You see it. Wait, and then they go crazy. That's awesome. Awesome. AC Adam, I agree with you. T.J. Edwards deserves more credit for that third down tackle on Willis. Yes, it was huge. Huge. That set it up. Let's not forget, was it Cole Kmet who came around and hit Quay Walker, which bought Caleb some time to slide up to the left, step and throw. If he doesn't pick up Quay Walker, Caleb's moved off his spot, may not get that throw off. When Caleb talked about it, he says, we all got to do our part, our 1/11th, 9%. That's all you got to do. Do 9% of the work that's necessary on that play. Let Caleb do the other one, because 9 times 11 is 99. Those of you don't know the math. Let Caleb do the other 1%. That'll be the Superman part. My guest, and we're going to continue this conversation. You've seen him become a great friend of the program. He's a Bears writer for A to Z Sports. You can find him on X at ATOZ, A to Z _ Schlaw. As I said, he's the Bears writer for A to Z Sports. Let's bring him in again, our guy, Kole Noble. Cole, what's up, Baba? Good morning.
Hey, the Iceman, Shawn, the Iceman's coming for you.
The Iceman. And I told Steve, I was like, the Iceman winneth.
Yeah.
That's going to be our next. That was going to be the thumbnail for the background. The Iceman winneth.
But Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Pleasure to come on again.
Dude, Merry Christmas to you and the fam, man. That's awesome.
Appreciate
Thank you. We got a big. Well, let's go over that whole thing. All right.
Okay. Yep.
Talk about the start of the game. Do you think that the Bears came out a little overhyped or a little too emotional? They were, we started off the first play with DeMarco Jackson getting the personal foul, body surfing on the whole thing, and a bad play by Ben Johnson, bad call on Ben Johnson on our 4th and 1 after Green Bay had just gone and got stopped on 4th and 1 inside our 10-yard line. Do you think the Bears, especially the players and staff, are a little overhyped for that game?
Yeah, I think there was a lot of energy going into it, and I think that's just going to be the case going forward with this rivalry. I think they've kind of sent a good message to the Packers in these two games where it's not the same old Bears that they can just walk on, at Lambeau or at Soldier Field anymore, and getting a home one for the first time in years over Green Bay at the end of the day was still key. But yeah, I definitely think they came out a little too emotional in that game. They're going to probably try to dial it back now on the road against the Niners. It won't be it's still a big game, but not as an emotional of a game as the Packers one was. But while I think the penalties were an issue for sure. Ben Johnson got a little too ahead of himself on that fourth down call too. Trying to snap it between the legs and get it back to Monangai on that play was a little too cute in my opinion. But that's just the risk and reward with Ben Johnson as your coach. He's going to do that every game. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just kind of have to live with the punches as they come. But yeah, definitely it was a little bit of an emotional game at the start of it for both sides, I think. And especially the tempers from the Week 14 game kind of showed back up early in that game. Just try to send an early message, I think.
Yeah, and luckily they did settle down. And the old saying, there's nothing you can't learn by losing that you can't learn from almost losing. And
right.
They were able to come back and they keep winning. These nail biters. I think it's allowing them to grow with wins, because man, it's so easy, it's so much better when you get to go in the film room, notice your mistakes, and still say we came out with a W despite that, and get better that way. Give me your thoughts on Caleb. Caleb was, he wasn't having a great game. Before that, he had 200 yards, 204 yards actually, going into that pass. But then again, when we needed him at the end of the game and in overtime, he put on the Superman cape and went to work. Talk about another game where Caleb is mediocre at best for the first three quarters, and then does spectacular things in the fourth quarter in this game in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers, and it's very inflated by that last pass. I mean, because he was still finished 19 of 34 passing, 250 with 2 touchdowns, which if that's a bad game, then we're fully capable of taking bad games. Because 2 touchdowns, no turnovers, I'll take that every single Sunday. And I do think that a lot of these completion percentage numbers are a little bit skewed, because I think that might just be Caleb's game at this point. I mean, he throws away, a lot of passes. He's had some drops out there, and then still having some miss hits as well. But those numbers on the miss hits are going down. A lot of them are just drops and throwaways, it looked like, going back to that game. And it's just putting him in a good situation early on. They've talked about it all season, getting in rhythm, getting that first down that gets the ball rolling. That's what they had issues with. And, you can't have, false starts. You can't have illegal formations. Those were still showing up. And it seemed like that was what a lot of the main frustrations were. But once those kind of got cleaned up and the urgency got picked up on that sideline late in that game, Caleb was going to go out there and deliver. And that's right now the story of this season. And that's just kind of the big takeaway is when the game's on the line, Caleb Williams, he can deliver. It's not a question if he can anymore, he's going to. And that's kind of the big step that they needed to see out of him. And then, I think they can get the rest cleaned up, especially going into next year, but, hopefully within the next few weeks before the playoffs.
Caleb has that clutch gene in him, and you said it, you just knew that the Bears he was going to do well. And so did a lot of Bear fans. All right. And that's something that you just can't teach. Caleb has developed. He's becoming more potent in the pocket, in structure. But when it breaks down and he's out and he's asked to go make a play, he's able to do that. We've seen him do that. He did it in high school. He did it in college. And he did it last year, despite the crazy season. And he's doing it this year, this time with better coaching, better talent.
Right.
And I think that's the one thing. That's the for all my spades players. I think that's the big joker that the Bears have in their pocket every single game, is that this dude, he can have a shit 3 quarters. That fourth quarter, if you stay close, there's a really good chance he's going to get you. Talk to me about Cairo Santos. We've given him a lot of shit for not having a big leg. How huge was Cairo Santos in that crazy win at Soldier Field? I've
been not the biggest fan of Cairo going back to last year and this year. I feel like he's missed, almost a kick a game. It seems like every time you go out there, everyone's kind of collectively holding their breath. But I mean, give credit where credit's due. And Soldier Field, the guy can hit kicks, and it's a hard stadium to hit kicks in. And Ben Johnson gave him a second, maybe third game ball of the season, I think, after that win. I know he at least has gotten 2 so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, those were 2 big kicks, both 40+ yard. I mean, the wind was definitely a factor in that game, and they absolutely needed it. 43 yard and a 46 yarder when it counted, and a 51 yarder too. I mean, he's not going to hit you, 55 plus, 60 plus like Brandon Aubrey and Cam Little are. But I mean, if you can get in within range of that, and he's hitting that in the elements, I mean, that's all you can ask for. And I mean, it was a point earlier in the season where I, was looking at where this team was headed, and every week I was, a little bit concerned about Santos. I didn't want, another situation where, they get into a playoff and double doink to lose it, or, a wide right by Santos to lose it. That's what I was concerned with. But I mean, if they get home field, at least in the first round, maybe even number 1 seed, and all roads go through Chicago, then I have full confidence now in Santos being able to hit some kicks at home.
And that's the crazy part, because everyone, well, no one else plays here on a consistent basis except him, because obviously it's our home stadium. And if you come here and you haven't kicked here, it's a son of a gun. And I know you go out and practice before the game, I know, but that wind changes quick, fast, in a hurry. Don't worry. And if you haven't experienced it, it's a beast, because that what he did was at the right upright, and the wind just took it right through the right down the middle. Man, there's so many times if you start aiming at that right upright, and all of a sudden the wind stops, it's wide right, which miss, and he understands that. He's been kicking here a long time. I think that's a key weapon for us. 50 yards and in, he's pretty much money. 51 yards and in, he's pretty much money, especially with that. And that's a great weapon to have. That's a great weapon to have when you get to the playoffs, because playoffs usually aren't 45 to 20, 45 to 40. I mean, there's a couple of shootouts. Right. Playoffs are a lot more conservative and there's a lot lower scores, and that's a huge feather in our cap, a weapon in our arsenal, as we progress. How do you see this team? How do you see this team playing on? Let's move this week on Sunday. They got a phenomenal team. All right, it's crazy. If San Francisco wins out, they're the number 1 seed. If we went out and San Francisco does us a solid and beats Seattle next week, we're the number 1 seed. If Seattle wins out, they're the number 1 seed. If LA wins and a couple other things happen, they're the number 1 seed. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. How do you see this Sunday with a lot on the line? Both teams fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC playing out.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one just because it's on the road. I mean, San Francisco, they looked hot on Monday. I mean, Brock Purdy, 5 touchdowns. They scored 48 points as a team. But, I mean, that defense against 44-year-old Phillip Rivers showed a little bit of some holes, because, he did a lot better than I expected. I mean, he's a lot more sharper and, seeing a lot more defenses than Caleb Williams has for sure. So I don't know if Caleb can quite put up that same level of success, but that defense has some holes in it. They've lost some key players this year. It's slowing down that offense is a big part. And I mean, Kevin Byard talked about it. It's rare that you see a team's focal point be the tight end and running back position like it is for that team. Trying to slow down George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey, those 2 guys can hurt you in a hurry and make a game really bad for your defense. And they've had some issues with tight ends, especially this year, covering tight ends down the field. And then McCaffrey, that's just all on the linebackers. Can they corral McCaffrey and get him on the ground? But I mean, Brock Purdy's playing some of his best football, we've seen since the Super Bowl run right now. I mean, he was hitting everybody. I mean, he almost had a perfect passer rating, very few incompletions on Monday. The one thing going in the Bears' advantage is the fact they played Saturday night, had an off day on Sunday, and then got back in the building ready to go on Monday. And the Niners still played Monday night on the road and had to fly back. So they're way behind. It's like almost a 2.5 day advantage for the Bears going into this game for preparation. And it helps a little bit that they're, the team going on the road as well.
Guys, we're joined by Kole Noble, the Bears writer for A to Z Sports. We're talking Chicago Bears football here on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. This game is going to be a matchup of some offensive geniuses. Kyle Shanahan versus Ben Johnson. How do you think the 49ers attack our defense? We got our linebackers back. Kyler Gordon's out for the season, but Jalen Johnson's back. It's going to be his third game back. All right, so he's going to have more of his game legs underneath him as opposed to when he first came back. Shawn Wright, who just got snubbed for the Pro Bowl, is probably going to be on one because I showed this. This is just a travesty. Like, this is criminal. This is fucking criminal. All right? Just look at the stats. And I'm not just a stats guy. But when you notice the interceptions from Shawn Wright, the one-handed thing in front of DK Metcalf, who's not playing the rest of the year. Another story. All right, the 118 yards on interception returns, the one pick six. All right, he leads in tackles, 2 forced fumbles. He ended the freaking tush push. You know what I mean? Like all these things, and he doesn't get elected to the Pro Bowl. Wouldn't there be some shit if he gets mentioned, if he's elected All-Pro and doesn't make the Pro Bowl? That's crazy. It's criminal. But I digress. Give me your thoughts on Sunday.
Yeah. I know Ben talked about it before. The Niners were always like a run-first team. I mean, that was always Kyle Shanahan's bread and butter. Even before they had Christian McCaffrey, they had, Raheem Mostert and Matt Breida running like crazy on teams into the playoffs. And it worked for them, in those playoff seasons, those Super Bowl runs that they had, with Garoppolo and the one with Brock Purdy. But it seems like this team is more, content passing the ball right now. As good as McCaffrey is, it seems like he's also getting more involved as a receiver this year. And he's leading the NFL in touches. So I think that they attack this defense through the air. And that's the great recipe that, teams have been using on the Bears. Even Willis was hitting some big plays in the passing game last week.
Yeah.
Shador Sanders in the Browns game hit 2 40-yarders and some big plays to Harold Fannin in the passing game in that one. So that's still a concern is, giving up the big plays. But, credit to Green Bay. Last week they gave up the big plays, but they were 0 for 5 or held Green Bay to 0 for 5 in the red zone. They tightened up when the field got short, and that's, where good defenses, make themselves look like good defenses. So I think this is going to be a passing game for San Francisco. They try to attack us through the air. And even Shawn Wright, I mean, I think the big thing that held him back from a Pro Bowl nod is that he's second among all corners and touchdowns allowed. I mean, people forget about that. It's, kind of a risk reward throwing the ball up to him. You throw the ball up and you get a touchdown seven times this season, or you get 5 interceptions this season. It seems like it kind of goes the offense's way based on those numbers. So I think that was part of it, especially with Quinyon Mitchell. I think his reception percentage was down a lot lower. With the amount he was getting targeted, he's kind of not allowing as many receptions as Shawn Wright was. I think that goes into it as well. But I agree. Like you can't lead the league in takeaways and not make the Pro Bowl. And Kevin Byard mentioned that he had a season where he was, not a Pro Bowler, but he got first team All-Pro nod. So hopefully the other voters for All-Pro give Shawn some kudos and some respect for the season he's had, because he's had a good season and he's not a household name by any means, but he's definitely made the most of his opportunities. But it's a big stage for him. If it's going to be a passing game, he can't be giving up touchdowns, and he has to get the interceptions on a Sunday night game, and then he can start getting some All-Pro votes instead.
Yeah, I'm extremely happy for that young man, kind of a journeyman. I kind of followed Al Harris wherever he went, and this was really his breakout season. He's every game he gets a pick, every time he strips a ball, every time he hits a PBU, all I hear is cash register, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. He's going to get paid this offseason. Now, whether it's by the Bears or somebody else, that we'll have to wait and see. But this young man is really, really doing a phenomenal job for him and his family after this season, because he is playing lights out, and the guy's 6'3", 6'4", long, lanky, and obviously he's got phenomenal ball skills. You saw the one-handed pick in front of DJ Metcalf. Man, this guy is really, and I'm happy for him. Those are stories. Those are great stories in sports where you finally get a chance, and this one was by injury, Jalen Johnson. But you know what? It's happened. Wally, I didn't want. I was hoping I knew Jalen Johnson wouldn't be Wally pipped, but maybe Tyreek Stevenson would have been. You know what I mean? And just he's taking advantage of it, and you love to see it. He's playing at a top-notch level.
Yep.
Our run game. Talk to me about that. We're probably going to end up having 1,000-yard rusher and maybe an 800-yard rusher. Are we going to be able to control the tempo this week against the Niners, starting with our run game?
I would hope so. Last week, it was kind of a little bit frustrating how little the Bears seem to be on offense. I mean, they could not play. I mean, Matt LaFleur was playing Ben Johnson's game against Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
I mean, the Packers were running it down their throats last week. They were controlling the clock, and then it only until the last couple of possessions where the Bears really, made things count and overtime made things count. But the first 3.5 quarters of that game, the Packers were controlling it, and they kind of showed a little bit of a blueprint that you just slow down that Ben Johnson style just by not getting them on the field, keep the ball away from them. Don't let them control the game. So, and the Packers, they started that game and had a long first drive that stalled out. So I think maybe the Bears switch it up and hopefully try to start the game on offense this week and control the clock right out of the gate would be the thing here that I'm looking for. But I mean, the run blocking and the run schemes have been poetry. Like, it's absolute art when you go back and watch some of the run plays that this offense is running. And Cole Kmet said that each week they're putting in new, run schemes and run concepts. And I mean, if you get 50 yards out of 2 backs every single week, you'll take that, every single week as well. Because I mean, it's the offensive line's awesome, and I think they really found a good, mix with this 1-2 punch of being able to switch Swift and Monangai out, because Monangai's, hitting some big plays, and he's a real spark. I mean, when he runs the guy over and gets 5 yards, that can only be a 5-yard play, but you see the energy jolt to the sideline. And then you put Swift in, he has like an 11, 12-yard carry and hits the guy at the end of that one. It's definitely fun to watch, because that's kind of how they're beating up on teams right now. And this time of the season, you have that kind of an offense, you really start to make some damage beating up on some teams.
Yeah, the physicality of this team is one that's really has me excited, and that's why I think we can go far. We can go deep into the playoffs because of our physicality. We're not afraid to mix it up. We're not afraid to punch you in the mouth. We're not afraid to stand there and go toe to toe with you, and that's what's awesome. And then we got the ultimate equalizer. We got the big joker in the back pocket. We stay close. That dude can. I'll tell you what. That dude can do some special things and win and pull up crazy victories out of the jaws of defeat like he did there. So. It's going to be a great thing. Talk about the matchup, though. The Mike Shanahan, Ben Johnson. Do you think anyone has an advantage?
I really don't know. I mean, it's just because we've seen a very different Kyle Shanahan this year than years past, being able to throw the ball a lot more and not relying on that run game. And even the defenses too. Like we said, like there's some holes on the Niners defense. There's some concerns with the Bears defense with the big plays. So I honestly hope it's a shootout. I think if we get a Sunday night shootout, that'll be a lot of fun. I don't want to see another 24, or 22-16, like 1-score game where Caleb wins it at the end. I want to see like a good 42-38 like game winning play.
Whoever has the ball last wins.
Yeah, how fun would that be? All the implications in this playoff implications, number 1 seed on the line, division titles on the line for both teams, Sunday night football. I mean, if we get some fireworks in this game, I think that'll be a lot of fun, because it's warm weather game too outside in San Francisco or Santa Clara. So this one could be a big offensive game. I'm hoping for. I think could be a lot of fun.
That would be great, because I thought Caleb was going to have a coming out game last week because of the interception he threw in the first Green Bay game. All right, he was very focused. He acknowledged the interception. I'm like, man, this could be a big game for Caleb. Kind of, as competitive as he is, that he wants his get back, and he got his get back. It just wasn't with the amount of yards. He got to get back with the game-winning touchdown, to DJ in overtime. But maybe this game will be the time where he comes out, he throws for 300-something yards, and three touchdowns. That would be amazing, because he's starting to get this offense. He's starting to become more comfortable in structure. As I said earlier, when necessary, he puts that cape on and does amazing things. So hopefully this is the game where he really does a phenomenal job in structure and is able to pick that defense apart with the help of the run game. Talk to me a little bit about how I would have liked a little more tight end involvement. Do you think that they're gonna focus on that coming up this week? Because San Francisco has their own tight end, and we know how amazing George Kittle can be. Why can't we follow those same lines and use our tight ends when we have 2 good ones?
Yeah, I think it's, Loveland's making a lot more big plays. I think he's being, more and more of a factor. It depends on the receivers too, going into this one. I thought last week, I think maybe they kind of flipped the script because Micah Parsons wasn't out there. They ran a lot of 2 tight end sets and the 2 tight ends in the backfield kind of looks that first time against the Packers to help out with Parsons. And I thought they would try to lean into that because Odunze and Burden were both out, in week 16. But instead you got, Zacchaeus played a big role. He had 2, catches, but he had 5 targets with 2 catches though. But he, had 5 targets in the passing game. Jonte Walker had 3 targets and obviously the big touchdown. So I think that they got those, turned out the depth at the wide receiver position more than getting the tight end focus that I thought they were going to do. So maybe, it depends on the health of Rome and Burden. I think Rome has a better chance to play this week than Burden by what Ben Johnson said that, they know they're going to get Rome back at some point this season. I think being a little bit of a cold weather or a warm weather environment will be a little bit easier on his foot after having, 3 games off of it. So I think you get Rome back. That'll be a big key. With the tight ends, I think, Loveland's really the guy in the passing game right now. Cole Kmet's been a little quiet the last couple of weeks, and I think they just realized that Loveland's just a better pass catcher. I mean, how many times have we seen Kmet catch the ball and immediately fall down? I mean, it's getting frustrating at that point. Like the guy he's a possession guy at this point. And he didn't used to be earlier in his career. He used to have some run after the catch to him, but Loveland's starting to show that a little bit and making some big plays in the passing game, which is exciting to see. That guy has a bright future. I really enjoy watching Loveland play and evolve every single week, especially what he's doing in the run game. I mean, even Cole Kmet shouted out Durham Smythe, and he's one of the best blocking tight ends in the league this year. I mean, he's doing phenomenal work in the trenches too. So they're getting involved. I think it's just not something you really see on the stat sheet to the extent you'd want to, but they're certainly getting involved and having big impacts.
I just pulled up the weather forecast for San Francisco, and on Sunday it's a high of 55. Now, mind you, let's not forget it's only 5:30 out there.
Yeah,
I forgot that when I was out there last year, and they were playing at 1 o'clock because they had the second game, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot they're in the West Coast, so we're used to 3 o'clock games and 7:20 games. Well, 7:20 games are 5:20s." So
right.
It's at a low of 44. Man, that is nothing but beautiful football weather, even at 44 degrees. So the weather isn't going to be an issue. It's going to rain a couple days prior, but I think all day Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be fine as far as most of the field will be covered. So it's not like it's 54 on Saturday, 55 on Sunday. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Field's going to be immaculate. It's going to be one of the
that bodes well for the passing game.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So I'm a little leery because of what you talked about. Our defense has been giving up a lot of big plays, and man, this 49er team can really take advantage, can really hurt you. Here's one. This is a rookie leading receivers: Emeka Egbuka, McMillan, Warren, Fannin. Is 6 and 7. Colson Loveland and Luther Burden. And mind you, remember, Luther Burden didn't play a lot. Didn't get a lot of targets in the beginning of the year. First month or so, 6 games, 4 to 6. Imagine that. We might end up having Colson Loveland, he'll have 500 yards. Luther Burden, as long as he comes back this week or next, we have a couple receivers with 500 yards. That's a nice rookies, not just receivers, rookie receivers. That's a nice little stable of playmakers that the Bears really have right now, and that can go a long way as they get older and they develop and they become more comfortable every year in this offense, because we're not going to have to learn this offense next year. And that's the cool part, Cole, that I'm looking forward to, is not having to learn this offense. It's, Caleb doesn't have to learn this offense again. Neither does DJ. Neither does, do those guys at Rome Odunze. Now they can just kind of refine it and get comfortable in the same offense, same play caller. That has me excited. Not as excited as this. I'm going to be here. My feet are here, and I'm looking forward to Sunday big time.
That's similar to how it was with Ben Johnson in Detroit. Like, they built that run game that first season. Jared Goff wasn't the most prolific passer that he was, the last 2 years with that Ben Johnson offense, 2023, 2024. And it's exciting because all 11 starters right now are under contract. on the offense. So they're all coming back with, pretty much the same group. The only one that's not is Zacchaeus. And they could easily either find another guy for that role or even bring back Zacchaeus for another year. Probably just get another guy or let Burden step up and, maybe draft another receiver behind him. But, they got a nice little stable next year. And I think that this year was the focus on the offensive line and how do we, get a physical mentality in the run game. And that was accomplished. Right after the bye week, they accomplished that and have shown that all season long. That's going to continue next year. You have everybody under contract. So the offseason focus is going to be, okay, now let's make this passing offense as lethal as possible to make this offense as deadly as possible on two phases, run and pass. And that's like the passing game next year is about to get really scary. And once everything starts coming together for all these guys. But it's a great young core that they have right now on this offensive side of the ball. It
really is. I think you let Luther Burden step up. I think it's time for him to really to take over that Zacchaeus spot. And man, I've talked about it. Like, all right, you have a stud corner. Okay, you put him on DJ Moore. A lot of teams don't have two good corners. Obviously, you have two corners because everyone needs 11. But the difference between cornerback number 1 and cornerback number 2, the drop off could be vast. And now you're putting up another number 1 receiver in Roma Dunze against them. And how many teams have 3 good cornerbacks? All right, and playing in the slot is a lot different because there's usually you can go to the two-way goal for most receivers, especially if they got you in motion. That's a very difficult thing, which is why they paid Kyler Gordon so much because he's able to handle that. But imagine Luther Burden coming in motion and getting a free release with his speed. Like, that's going to put a lot of pressure on people, and that's going to do open up a lot of things for everybody on this Bears offense, especially once he gets healthy, but especially next year when, as I said, he doesn't have to learn this offense anymore. Now he can just learn the nuances and find the little shortcuts in the offense that'll accentuate his game and get him open. Man, it's really, really exciting. And then again, Caleb not learning a new offense. Here's the most important thing. Maybe it was forced, but him having to throw to DJ last week, I think that was extremely beneficial because maybe he feels more comfortable throwing to DJ now. And if he does that, Cole, if he continues to go to DJ, even when Rome comes back, guess what? Rome's going to be open because you're not going to double team Rome over DJ. You're just not. As a defensive coordinator, you're just not going to do that. You can't double team everybody because then Luther Bird and and Colson Loveland are going to have huge games. But if he continues to target DJ Moore, I think this passing game is going to open it up for everyone else, and it's going to take off to levels that we haven't seen here since Cutler, Marshall, Bennett, and Jeffrey and Forte.
Yeah.
And that was crazy.
Honestly, how many defenses have actually stopped this offense compared to how many times this offense has stopped themselves? When you think about it, a lot of the times this offense is stalling out is because they have a third down penalty, a third and short holding, or a third and short false start that makes it a 3rd and 7, and then it's an incomplete or a throwaway or a drop. But very rarely, like, this team's not really giving away turnovers. This team's not really getting stopped because of great plays defensively. They're hurting themselves. And I think once they really start getting these details cleaned up, in the passing game, they're catching passes. They're not slipping on routes. They're, being where they're supposed to be. Caleb's hitting receivers where they're supposed to be. That's what's hurting this team. I really haven't seen many defenses this year that have actually stopped this offense, especially consistently for, an entire game. And that's the exciting part, is that they're doing this to themselves. And as soon as they stop doing that, then, they're going to start rolling through teams.
One of the crazy parts is that they seem to get better as the game goes on. Peep this.
Yeah.
All right. In the fourth quarter and overtime. All right. We're the first in NFL. We scored the most points in the fourth quarter and overtime. Total yards, first. Rushing yards, first. Total touchdown, first. What happens? Why are we so potent in the fourth quarter and overtime this year? Why do you think that is?
It's definitely a mentality and a belief thing where, they just stay poised, stay, swinging all the way, full 60 minutes. But I think part of it's too what I was saying. Like, it takes them a little bit of time to get on the details, I think. They're not making those mistakes in the fourth quarter anymore because they've had 3 quarters where they're seeing, the defense, they're understanding what they're doing wrong. They're going back to the sideline, looking at the tape, looking at the iPads on the bench. And it's just not doing that at the beginning of the game is the frustrating thing. We've been saying it all season. And you're going to keep saying it until they prove that they can't do it. And then it's hard to kind of correlate that into like what's wrong or like how can they fix it, because it's what's wrong, how to fix it. It's just execution, executing the details, doing what you're supposed to do, those kind of things. And it's not working for 3 quarters, but then they get it dialed in and they're rolling in the fourth quarter, and then it leads to kind of all these 2-minute comebacks we're seeing, and then the results kind of speak for itself in that. But it's I don't know. Everyone talks about it's like not a sustainable way to win, but I mean, it's wins are wins in my opinion. I don't care about success in 3 quarters or anything like that. If you find a way to win, you find a way to win. That's how football is, and you don't need to get analytical with it. You find a way to win. It doesn't matter what you do for the first 3 quarters. So, but at the same time, if they want to be where they want to be, and that's dominating teams, then they got to tighten things up early in the games too.
Yeah, guys, we're joined by Kole Noble from A to Z Sports. He's a Bears writer for them. We're talking Bears football here on ShawnSierraSports on Sports Zone Chicago. Because here's what Caleb does, all right, when tied or trailing in the fourth quarter, all right, obviously wins, 2nd in touchdowns, 3rd in yards per pass attempt, and 6th in passer rating. Here's that clutch gene we were talking about, Cole. Here's that clutch gene, and I think it's a perfect example of complementary football, because Caleb's not throwing for 300 yards, 400 yards. He's not doing it, okay? What's he doing? He's turning around, handing it to the ball, and putting this on the offensive line. Let the running backs get the ball. These running backs a lot of times aren't getting touched into the second, maybe between the 2nd and 3rd level often.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And that's what keeps us close. That's what keeps field goal. All right, Caleb, now we need you. And that seems to be the recipe. I don't think you can sustain it for years. But I think this year, for 1 year, and maybe a couple years, but for this year alone, hell yeah, you can sustain it. There are crazier things that have happened. You can win that way for 1 year. Things change every year. All right, I'm not going to bank on it happening next year, but it does it because of what we've seen and because of the comfort level of Caleb and his offense. They don't flinch, like Ben Johnson said. They don't flinch when trailing in 2 minutes. Dude, that says 2 minutes left in the game. They're trailing. But this guy is calm, cool, collected. Ben is making great calls. Offensive line, when we're running the ball, are really getting some push. The receivers, for all the dropsies that they have in the regular season, you don't see any dropsies in the final 2 minutes. And this is where we're at. 6-4 when we're trailing in the final 2 minutes, and the rest of the NFL is 213-2. How sick is that?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You find ways to win, And right now they're finding ways to win. And it's, how far can that get them? We'll see. I mean, if they keep games close, you have a lot of confidence in that team right now. They have a lot of confidence and belief in themselves that they can get the job done. And I mean, as part of it is the defense too. Like I said, if they don't hold a Green Bay to 0 for 5 in the red zone, that game's not even close in the fourth quarter. So that's part of it too. Is the defense has to keep them in it. The run game, has to keep them in it. You can't abandon that and make it into a passing game that always puts you in a bad spot. So they're playing very complimentary football right now on both sides of the ball. Special teams too. Like the special teams plays they're making are incredible and get overlooked. I mean, if they don't get the onside kick,
let's give Steve Hightower his flowers, because remember we were giving him shit earlier. All right, who got the onside kick against us? I can't think of it. But there was at one point where people were mad at Hightower. They someone got a big return. They got another onside kick. It was like, what the hell's going on? And if we're gonna give him shit, we better give him. I think it might have been
the Cincinnati game.
But if we're gonna criticize him, then we got to give him his flowers because he's really turned those special teams units around, and they are a weapon. Didn't the punter knock the ball out inside the 5 last week too? Just like those crazy things, the hidden yardage that you see throughout the game are so vital. And special teams plays such an important role in that. And Richard Hightower has done a phenomenal job since, after a shaky start, he's done a phenomenal job in making that unit a strength and an asset.
Yeah, I think that was another big snub from yesterday was Josh Blackwell. He absolutely should have been a Pro Bowler, special teamer. I mean,
Yes.
He's got a block kick, an onside kick. He's got a punt that he downed on the 1. He's had big blocks on returns. Like, that guy absolutely deserved a Pro Bowl. And Ben Johnson spoke very highly of him Monday and after the game for the job he did with that onside kick. And then Hightower said he calls him All-Pro Black. And I mean, he may be another one like now Shawn, where he's not a Pro Bowler, but he's first-team All-Pro because, I mean, that guy's been awesome this year. He was awesome last year, too, on special teams. He's found a really good niche in that spot and playing at a very high level for this team. And they're getting the most out of so many guys. I mean, it goes back to the coaching, too, is this roster, there is not a single player on that 53 that hasn't had, some kind of big impact this season.
You said the key word, coaching matters. And, you got Noah Sewells. Dude, this reminds me of 06. We had the Brendan Iambadejos and the Corey Grahams on special teams when Devin Hester was returning all his kickoffs. Who were leading the blocks? Brendan Iambadejo, the Corey Grahams. The guys didn't get much tick on the field as a linebacker with Brendan Iambadejo or as a DB and Corey Graham. But man, they're on all special teams and guaranteed on every single one of those returns for a touchdown. Those guys had key blocks. And the one thing that Ben has done that I, as a coach, that I applaud, he's given everyone a role. Okay. When you are given a role and I ask, and your role is defined, it doesn't matter in life, in your regular job, in sports, when you know exactly what it is your boss, your coach wants you to do, you do it. You can do it. He's given everyone a distinct role, and as competitors, they're flourishing in their role because that's all they're asked to do. I need you to do this and this. Okay, cool. As competitors, they're going to do it. I need you on special teams. Boom, boom. They're doing it. That is so underrated by so many people when coaches can give you a distinct role with a job description. All right, I need you blocking on kick returns. I need you, coming across trying to block extra points and field goals. Here's what I need you to do. Goes back to coaching, and it goes back to these athletes, these young men, these men who want to succeed and have literally lived up to everything that is being asked of them, which is not the gamut. It's a small, specific thing, and they're living up to it in big time fashion.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite one was Nikola Kalinick back in week 12. No one probably even still doesn't know the name because he got hurt and he's been on the IR since that game, but he was a practice squad elevation, and Ben Johnson singled him out because he was making some big plays on special teams in that Steelers game. He was kind of starting some stuff with some players. He drew a penalty even because he started like a little bit of a fight, and it's like getting value and impact out of guys like that, practice squad elevation. That was his only game of the season, but he came in there and was ready and then said, hey, here's your role for this game. You're going to make an impact on special teams. You're going to go out there and give it your all when you're out there. And I mean, when their number is called, these guys are stepping up. It doesn't matter who it is. I mean, Jade Walker has played 8 offensive snaps going into last game, and he catches the game-tying touchdown. I mean, how awesome was that?
Yeah. He might be another dude that can replace OZ.
Yeah.
Remember, he was a big-time dude at Texas A&M. He's a big-time receiver over there for them. And here he's just a guy, but he's talented, but you're buried on a team with talented receivers. And you got a chance to show what you can do in a huge game. It's not week 1. It's not a blowout. This is for the NFC North title at home against your arch rivals for the game tying touchdown. Yeah, that's a big moment. Like Eminem. All right. There's, you know what I mean? You have that moment. Are you gonna capture it or let it slip away? Man, he captured it, and it opened up the eyes of Antoine Randall L., opened up the eyes of Ben Johnson. Like, they knew what he could do because he's done it in practice. But doing it in a practice and doing it in the game under those conditions are completely different things. Now what he gained is trust from Caleb, trust from his offensive teammates, and trust from Antoine Randall L. And that's why I think OZ might be the odd man out, because now you got a young guy, and it's just economics. He's cheaper, he's younger, he's making plays like OZ did early on. It might just be easier to keep him. So, man, it's a good time to be a Bear fan, man, and I'm fired up for Sunday. Cole, great stuff, my man. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Do me a huge favor, though. Before you go, let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Yep, for sure. You can find me on X/Twitter at A2Z_slaw. We have the Chicago Sports, A to Z page on Facebook. The articles can go up on there. You can get rowdy in the comments. I, got the people fired up of, Ben Johnson talking about the hit on Jordan Love, and, got some Bears fans going back and forth in the comments on that one over, how that play went down. So, our content's getting posted there on Facebook as well. On Google, we're getting some traffic now. Starting to do a good job as a company getting the word out there for the A to Z brand. So really excited where things are headed with the company. So you can find us at A to Z Sports as well on the Chicago tab, and all of the other NFL and college football content we got going on.
Dude, great stuff, man. I appreciate it. We'll be in touch soon.
All right, appreciate it. Have a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Same to you. Same to you and the family, and your family and your A to Z family, and my guy Evan over there. Merry Christmas to you guys as well. We'll talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Guys, that's Kole Noble from A to Z Sports talking Bears football with us. And, that's good stuff. We're in a good spot. We are in a spot that I didn't think we'd hit this year. We are, in my opinion, way ahead of schedule. Pleasantly way ahead of schedule. Because let's not shy away from it. All right, let's not shy away from the playoff talk. Let's not shy away from the deep run in the playoff. Let's not shy away from it. Let's not shy away from the get to the NFC title game. Let's not shy away from the Super Bowl. Let's not shy away from that at all, because that is something that's legitimate. And sometimes people say, "Oh, don't say it. Don't talk about it." No. Put it out there. Put it out there. Now, there's work to do. There's work to do. But that is on the table, because all you need is a chance. So you're telling me I got a chance. And you know what's really crazy? There is a very, very real possibility. Yeah, tell them, ACF, don't be afraid of it. Don't be scared. And nobody's scared over here. Bring it. We have a real chance that we actually could play in San Francisco 3 times in the next month and a half. 3 times. If we lose to this team, we meet them again in the playoffs. Whoop that ass then and go to the Super Bowl, which is in Santa Clara again. That would be insane. That would be insane. But I'm looking for this. Shorty's fired up now. Next year and beyond, when Caleb has the offense mastered, the league is ours. We will have taken the North and never give it back. FGB. Yeah. And that was my initial thought. Remember, I kept saying, wait till next year. This year, the growth, I can't wait to see the growth this year, but I can't wait to see next year. Well, here's the one thing that I that's extremely important that the Bears have to understand. King Booker World said there's no team they can't compete with. I agree. I ain't scared of anybody. Hell, Denver just got this shit knocked out of them at home. So I ain't scared of nobody. here's the thing. They have to understand that seasons like this, we're not good. We're not great like the Chiefs were for that run. Okay? What you have to do is you have to plan. And Ben should. Once the season's over, say, hey, here's what we got. Wherever we are. All right, first game is going to be at home against the Packers or against the Lions. Then next week we're going. If we're number 2 seed, next week we're hosted. We're hosted this week, and then we're hosted next week against this person. And the following week, if we're number 2, we're going to Seattle or San Francisco. We're going to take care of them, and then 2 weeks after that, we're going back to Santa Clara. You put that in their minds, so you plan for it. Why? Because people follow their leader. Ben is the undisputed leader of this team. People, hell, most of us are going to ready to run through a wall for him. Can you imagine those guys? A lot of us want to run through a wall for that man. And when he starts thinking like this, guess what? You start thinking like this. Players start thinking like this. Players start believing. Players start believing, and this is something that belief and confidence goes a long way. We're not the upstart surprise Bears anymore. Now we expect to win. We ain't sneaking up on anybody. We're kicking out a damn door. And people know it. Why? Because we punch you in the mouth. Run game. Calvin Unguy. DeAndre Swift. Calvin Unguy. DeAndre Swift. Calvin Unguy. Kicking the door down. Punching you in the face. Body blows. Left. Body blows. Nothing fancy about our game. We're going to pummel those ribs. And when the shot's there, when your hands drop, ask Jake Paul. Drop your hands. Get your jaw broke it in. Which I was so happy about, but that's another story. Start talking like this to your team. Start talking. Why not us? Have a great offensive line. 2 of our offensive linemen are in the Pro Bowl. A third one, and Darnell Wright, should have been selected to the Pro Bowl. 40% of our offensive line is going to the Pro Bowl. 60% should have been going to the Pro Bowl. We got 2 running backs. One's going to get 1,000. The other one's going to get about 700-800 yards. We got the big joker for all my Spades players. We got the big joker that not a lot of teams have. Not a lot of teams have, and that's a quarterback who can bring you back. You are a damn fool, King Book of World. So I will say this: if all the cards fall and the Bears win the goddamn Super Bowl this year, I'm getting my Robert De Niro on and having a baby old as hell. Oh my goodness. Shorty says, same book. I will say this. I do not want to see FGB in the playoffs. That's a little too familiar for us. If we see him, fine. If I had my druthers, I'd rather not see him. I agree with you, Shorty. I'd rather not see him if I had my druthers. I'd rather not. King Bookwell says, I actually don't care about the seeding. If they win as the number 2, great. If not, they're still in there and are dangerous. Yeah. I mean, you can still come away with the number 2 seed. That means you got 2 games at home. First one and second one, then the NFC Championship game will be on the road. Like I said, it could be Santa Clara, could be Seattle, could be LA, depending who's the number 1 seed. And then we go back to Santa Clara. So whatever hotel you stay in, Shorty says, Booker, when the Bears win the Super Bowl this year, I will give birth to a giant egg that will hatch in the old man who ages backwards. What are you, Mork and Mindy? You Shorty from Ork? Mork from Ork? Some people might not get that reference. The rights not being in the Pro Bowl, not being Pro Bowlers is criminal. Yes. Yes. Jason from across the pond checking in. Good morning, my man. How you doing? Says hi, Shawn and everyone. How are we all doing? I'm just about coming down from Saturday night. Bear down. Man, Jason, I'm telling you, bro, that's weird. Whew. Still watching those replays. And I'm telling you, I didn't get that final play because I was watching it. And I should have said, okay, let me record the video, the venue where we were at Local Cantina. And big shout out to my guy Andy Solis, the owner of Local Cantina, for allowing us to have the viewing / holiday party. It was a great event. But I wanted to have the play go and see the reaction. But I was too busy watching the play, and King Booker World's jumping on me. He hit me like 4 times. and I was like, oh shit, I gotta record this. And I got the end of it, but it wasn't the initial reaction, which is what I really wanted. And but yeah, it was crazy. Jason says, I'm driving my wife crazy, still watching replays and interviews and analysis. It's great. King Book of World, Nanu. Oh, man, that's hilarious. Hey, listen, guys, 2 hours is come and gone. I want to thank my guy, Kole Noble, for coming out talking Bears with us. British Bears every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Central Time. Thank you, Junior, for reminding everyone. And that was yesterday, but still, just a good reminder. I want to thank Kole Noble for coming out talking Bears with us. I want to thank you guys in the chat. You guys are lit, as always. I want to thank you for the love and support that you guys have continually show your boy, man. I'm really I'm humbled by it. I'm grateful for it. All right. I want to wish everyone here, all right, in here, very Merry Christmas from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, from our family to you and yours. All right. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Festivus. Festivus was yesterday. Happy holidays. All right. Happy holidays from Sports Zone Chicago. All right. Happy Hanukkah for my Jewish friends. All right. And Merry Christmas. It's all about family. Enjoy it. Spend time with your family, friends, and loved ones. Okay. And just remember, that's the reason for this whole thing. Families and friends. We get so busy in life throughout the year that so often we don't get to see people, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. Hell, I guess I saw my guy Manny. He came to my viewing party. I hadn't seen him in 2 years. I ran into him at the Sox game this year, but he was out of his mind. But I hadn't hung out with him since last year. We went to breakfast. All right. So it's about family. It's about friends. It's about loved ones. Okay. Merry Christmas to you and yours from us over here at Sports Zone Chicago. So you guys have a phenomenal week. I don't know about Friday. I'm not sure. Follow me on social media. I'll let you know about Friday because we're going to South Elgin. I don't know if we're staying there because she's got some people staying, coming in from out of town, so they might not have room there. So I might have to come back on tomorrow night. So we'll see. So I'm not sure about Friday. I'd love to do Friday just to all right, Steve-O, just to preview the game, but it might not happen. So follow me on social media and I'll let you know. It's going to be a beautiful day over here in the high 40s. Christmas, no white Christmas, and I am more than okay with that. All right? So, again, from everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, to you and yours and your loved ones, have a happy, very Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa. All right? Your boy is SuperBack. I am out.
Come on, race the race. Get ready for the top and that's in the drop.